Hello everyone, in this course we are going to learn JavaScript console object in depth. So modern browser has a dedicated panel which is also called as console tab. So let me show you. If I go to Google, if I right click, inspect, so this is the console tab which every modern browser has it. So by using this console object, we can easily debug our JavaScript code and check the output of our object on this console tab. So throughout the course, my code editor will be Visual Studio Code. So if you don't have Visual Studio Code, so please install it. If you go to Google and search it for Visual Studio Code, so this is the first link which you will get, and you can just download it from here. It is download for a Mac. If you are a Windows user, just click on this arrow, download and install it. Okay, and uh, and my browser will be Chrome. Okay. So I'll be using Chrome as a browser. So let's start over the course from the next lecture. So if you are a new visitor on my channel, so you can just subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. So once I upload the videos, the latest videos, you will get the notification. So please subscribe, like and share my videos. Okay. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everybody. In this lesson, we will learn what is console object. Basically, console object is an debugging interface which provide access to our browser's debugging consoles. So all of the modern browsers are providing the developer tools. So I open the developer panel by doing a right click and then I'll click inspect. Now the developer tool is open. This is the panel. This panel has many different tabs and console is one of them. When you use one of the function of the console interface, the result will be shown here. So let's do a simple example and see the result. So I have created a index.html file and a script.js file. Okay, so I'll run this index file in the browser. I'm using an extension called preview on web. Okay, so this is the extension which helps you to run the HTML file on the browser. Okay, so let me close this. So if you want, you can install this. So to run this index.html file, I'm going to right click and here is the option launch on browser. So let's click on it. So now this file is running. So what you have in this is like a text console object, and I have created the script.js and I've included the script file here. Okay, so now let's go to script.js and inside this I will console log, let's say hello. Okay, let me save this, and if I go to the browser and if I right click inspect and if I go to console, here you can see the hello has been printed. Okay, so this hello has been printed here. So this is the simple way to understand the console object. Now let's do a real life scenario example. We will make an AJAX call, and to check the accuracy of the result data, we will log the data with the console log. So first we need to include the jQuery to our page. So for that I'll just go to a new tab and I'll search for jQuery CDN. So this is the link cdnjs.com and let's click on it. So this is the first link which I want. So I'll copy a script tag. Okay, so let's go to Visual Studio Code, go to index.html and I'll paste the code which I have copied. Okay, so let's save this. Now I would like to use the ajax function inside our script. Okay, so first let me save this and I'll go to script.js. So now we will able to use the ajax. Okay, so let me remove this previous console and here I will write $sign dot ajax, and inside this I will take an object and here I'll write URL which is going to be https colon slash slash reqres.in/api/users, and I'll add a comma here. This is just an API endpoint that we can use to get the users data to check our ajax works or not, and here we need to define the type. Okay, so we need to make a get request to fetch the user, so the type will be get, and I'll add a comma here. Now if we succeed, okay, so now if we succeed to get the result, so here I'll add a function, so success, that is going to be a function, and inside we'll take the response as a parameter, and here I'll console log the response. Okay, so let's save this. So we wrote our Ajax call, then we defined the URL endpoint, then we defined the type of HTTP request method, and we are expecting the result in our browser console with the console log. Okay, so let's check in the browser. If I go here, so as you can see, one second, let me refresh it again. So as you can see, we are getting the response. Okay, and we are able to log the response in the console. So you can debug your Ajax call with a console log, or you can check the accuracy of your data with this way. Okay, so this is the main idea to use console function, but many developers are doing the same mistake. They are not aware of the real power of console object as they are stuck in the console log. Okay, so if you are just writing console, okay, so let me clear this, and if I write console and if I hit enter, okay, if you hit enter twice, so here as you can see, so there are more options other than console log. So there are many different functions like assert, clear, context, count, okay, and many more. So many of the developer are just using this function, okay, console log, but there is console.assert, there is console.clear, there is console.context, there is console.log count, okay, but developers are only using console.log. So we will see all of the functions one by one to understand what are the purpose and their usage. So we will start this from the next lecture. Okay, so this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, in this video we will learn the console.assert function and its purpose. So the purpose of console.assert function is to test an expression is true or not. So console.assert function is taking two parameters. Okay, so console.assert function takes two parameters. The first one is the assertion and the second one is the error message. The assertion is the expression, this is a boolean expression, and the error message which is shown in the error state on the console. So the behavior of the function is, if the assertion is true, then nothing happens, but if the assertion is false, then it throws an error message to the console. So if the assertion is false, then it will throw a error message here, okay, in the console. So this is the main behavior of assert function. Okay, as I said before, the main purpose of the function is to test a boolean expression. So let's write the same Ajax call that we have used in the previous lecture, and let's check in the browser we are getting the response or not. So I'll just refresh it. So here we are getting the response, and you can see the response object, and there are many parameters here. So I want to check the per page. Okay, I want to check per page, for example. So I want to assert the item per page should be 7, otherwise throw an error. Okay, so right now it is 6, but I will say that console.assert item per page should be 7, and if it is not 7, then throw me an error. Okay, so let's go to the code, and here let me remove this. We don't want console log, we need console.assert. Okay, and inside this I will write the response. Okay, and here, okay, let me close this, and inside this I'll write per underscore page, okay, which is here per underscore page. This should be equal to 7. Okay, if this statement is true, then nothing will happen, but if it is false, okay, then it will show me an error message. So the error message will be item numbers per page is false. Okay, so you can type any error message you want, but I am keeping this. So let's save this. Okay, so now if per page is equal to 7, then nothing will happen, but if per page is less than 7 or it is not equal to 7, then there will be an error message. So let's go to the browser. Okay, let me refresh it again. So now you can see assertion fail, and the error message is item number per page is false. Obviously it will be false because item number, I mean the per page is 6. Okay, and now if I change this to 6, okay, per page, if I am making it equal to 6, and then if I go to the browser and if I refresh, let me refresh, now nothing will happen because, let me log it, okay, console log response, okay. So now you can see that per page is 6 and here per page is equal to 6. So this statement is true, so nothing will happen, but if it is false, then there will be an error message, okay. So I hope you got the main idea of using console.assert function, okay. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Hello friends, in this video we will learn the console count function, okay. So this is our console count function. So you can use this function with a parameter label, okay. So the purpose of this function is to count how many times the string has been called or how many times this function is called. So this is a simple count that you can use to track the function call count or anything. So let's start by defining a label, okay, for the parameter. So var label, that is going to be and inside the string you can use a single word, okay. You can use a single word or you can write a sentence like this, okay. So it depends on you and there is no limitation for this. So I would like to define as function is called. So I want to track how many times the function has been called, okay. So now let's define the function. So function foo, and inside we will write console.log, sorry, console count label, okay. We want to track this, so we want to track this function, and before this function I'll just copy this and I'll paste it. So before this function I'll write console.count label, okay. Let's save this and now let's go to the browser and let's open the console tab. So right click, inspect console, let me remove this, refresh. So the function is called 1, okay. So this is a label, function is called, and how many times the function is called, it is called once, okay. So you can see that the label is shown on the left and the number of count is on the right side, okay. So now let's call this again. So let me copy this, okay, and let me paste it. Let me save this file. Let's go to the browser and let's refresh it. So now the function is called 1 and then the function is called 2, so it is called twice, okay. So the counter is increased to 2, and if you only use count, let's say console dot count, okay, and let's save this. Let's go to the browser, let's clear this console, refresh. So now you can see there is no label and it is showing default 1, so it is only showing the count, okay. So let's add more, okay. So let me add few more, save this and refresh it. So you can see once again, let me clear this out. So you can see there is no label and it is showing 1 2 3, okay. So now let's remove this console count and let's call this function foo, okay, and let me remove this as well and save this. Now let's see how many times the function has been called. So clear this and refresh. So now the function is called twice, okay, first time and the second time. Now let me add one more console count here, and if I save this, now how many times the function will call, can you guess it? It will be 1 2 and 3, okay. Let's check it in the browser. So it's 1 2 and 3, okay. It starts from here 1 2 and this is the third one. Now remove this, okay, and let's save this and now let's check how many times the function has been called. So now it is called only once, okay, here. Now let's call this foo function few more times. So I called it 1 2 3 4 5 6 times, okay. So let's save this and refresh. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay. So this is how you can count the number of functions, okay. So this is how you can use console.count. So when you need to know how often an event occurs, you can use this console count function to track the occurrence. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Hello friends, in this video we will learn console.dir function. Basically, it is used to show an HTML node as a JavaScript object instead of XML representation. For example, if you want to console log an HTML file, sometime you are logging some specific nodes on HTML tree, for example, document.body. Okay, so let me console log document.body. Okay, let me save this. Okay, we need to run this file. Okay, so right click, inspect, and let's go to console. Let me clear this, refresh. So as you can see, this is an HTML representation in here, okay, instead of object. So I would like to see the detail of the DOM object and not an HTML, not the XML representation. So in this case, we need to use console.dir function. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here I will write dir, okay. And now if I save this, and now if I go to the browser, refresh. Okay, let me clear this, and now if I refresh, and now if I click, now you can see our object is shown in JavaScript object notation instead of XML representation. So basically console.dir displays the object in JavaScript representation. This is the main purpose of this function. Okay, so I hope you got it. If I use console log, let me make console log. Okay, let's make this console log, and now if you see the difference, okay, you will able to understand. Okay, so this is normal XML representation. Okay, and this is, so we can see the object in JavaScript representation. Okay, so this is it for console.dir function. It is very simple and very purpose oriented function to use instead of displaying something on XML format on your console. Okay, so I hope you got this, and this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, in this video we will learn console error function. Console error function is basically displaying a message to the console but with an error style, and an error icon is shown next to the message, and the message text is colored in red. So you can easily see the error message in the console with an error style, and you can easily trace the error where it occurs. So this is the main idea of console.error function. So let's understand it more clearly by writing an example. So here in the script.js, so let's write an ajax call with a fake URL to get an error. So let's write dollar dot ajax, and here inside the object we will take URL property, and here we need to give the URL as test dot url dot co dot uk, and second one is type, which is get, and here we will have an error property with a function. So function will be error response, and here we will write console log error response dot status text. Okay, let's save this and let's check it in the browser. So right click, inspect, and we need to go to console. So here as you can see, it is showing a message not found, and when we click here, okay, let's click here. So you can see, so here is the console log message. Okay, but what if there are many errors in the console with console log? Okay, for example, if I go to Visual Studio Code and if I just copy this, and let's say there are many error messages. Okay, let's save this, and if I go to the browser, so here as you can see, uh, all of them are shown in the same style and same type, and you may console different things like let's say if I remove this, and here we can show a message test message. Okay, if I save this and if I go to the browser, let me refresh it again. So it is shown in the same style and in the same type. Okay, so this is very inefficient way to understand an error. So if we use console error instead of console log, so what will happen? So let's go to the Visual Studio Code, and here instead of console.log we will use console log. error. Okay, and let's remove all the other stuff and let's save this. And now if I go to the browser, okay, let me refresh it. Okay, okay, so there is a typo, console.error response. It should be console.error. So let me remove the response. Okay, let's save this. And now if I go to the browser and if I clear it, refresh it. So now as you can see, it is showing in a different way. It is there is an error icon next to the message, and the error message is also shown in red color. The style is different from the style which we have seen earlier, okay, when we were using console log. And if you click on this collapse, okay, so it will open, and you can see the stack trace of the function. So the stack trace is starting from here, okay, and we are calling the hx function, and these are the other functions, okay, and these are the other functions in the stack. And at the end of the stack, in other word, at the top of the state, this message is shown here. Okay, so if I click here, so this is the message which is shown here. So instead of console log, we need to use console error for showing an error. Let's say if I use, let me copy this. Let's check the difference. Okay, if I use console log and if I save this, if I go to the browser, let me refresh it. So here, as you can see, it is only showing not found. But if you use console.error, it is showing error message with red color, and there is an icon, okay, an error icon, okay. And if I open, you can see the stack. So this is the starting point, and this is the error message which is shown. So this is the correct way of logging an error message. So instead of using console log for everything, you should use this kind of purposeful function to log your errors. You should use console.error. So this is it for this video. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please like, share and comment, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello friends, in this video we will learn about console group collapse and console group end function. So let's start. So group functions are mainly making a group for other console functions with a title to create a block for debugging more clearly. So to understand it more clearly, let's create an ajax call. Okay, so here we need to write $.ajax, and inside parentheses we will take an object, and first one is URL, that is going to be https colon slash slash reqres dot in slash api slash users. Okay, then we will be having a type, that is going to be get. Okay, then we have success, that is going to be a function, and here in the we'll take a parameter as response, and inside this we will console log response. Okay, so let's save this and let's go to the browser and let's check in the console. So right click, inspect console. So here is the object, so we are getting the users, okay, and we are also getting the other data related to the user like id, first name, last name, avatar. Okay, so now I want to check the users, all of them one by one in the console. So I want to see all the data related to this user, avatar, first name, last name, okay, id, one by one. So first we need to log over the users and log the details. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and let me remove this console log, and here I'll take a variable, so var, and let's name it as user, that is going to be response dot data, and then we are going to loop, okay, the data. So for var I equals to 0, I is less than users dot length I plus plus. Okay, and then we will console log users I. Okay, so let's save this. Now let's go to the browser and check it. So if I refresh, let me clear it out and let's refresh. So as you can see, we have logged the users separately, but I want to see this details. Okay, so these are the details like id, avatar, uh, first name, last name. Okay, I want to see these details more explicitly because I need to open all the objects. So let's write some more console logs. Okay, so let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here I'll write some more console logs. So users I dot, the first one is ID. Okay, then we need to check the first name, so first name. Okay, then we need to check the last name, so last name. Then we need the avatar. Okay, so there are other things also like email and all, but I need this four. So let's save this and let's go to the browser. Let me refresh it. So now we are getting everything separately, like in a group. Okay, so like in a block, I have the ID, I have the username, first name, then I have the user's last name, then I have the avatar. Okay, so now you can see everything more clearly. But what will happen if the data is more than three users? Okay, so let's update the URL. Right now there are only three users, but what if there are more than 10 users? Okay, so here I will update the URL to users question mark per underscore page, and that is going to be 10. Let's save this, and now let's go to the browser and let's refresh it. So now there are 10 users. Okay, so now everything has become a mess. So in that moment, if we use console.group to group this data, you can see there are 10 users in here, but they are very mixed. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here, so here we will write console.log, sorry, console.group, and here we need to give a label that is user. Okay, and so here we have defined the label, and this is an opening tag for creating a group. To close this opening tag, we need to use console.group end. Okay, so let's end this here. So console, no, let's end this here. Okay, so console.log, sorry, not log, group end. Okay, so now let's save this, and what this means is that this means that between this two tag, okay, this one and this one, so between these two tag we are separating the group. Okay, so now this will be an entire group. So let's check it in the browser. Okay, so let me clear this out and refresh. So now as you can see, we have this one group of users, this is the second group of users, and now if I click it will collapse. Okay, and if I click it will expand. Okay, so now it is in a group, every user is in a group, and this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag for the group. I hope you understood. So now these are organized, and now it is more easy to debug something because you know this is a separate user. Okay, so there are 10 users. Okay, so if I close this, and if you, and so as you can see there are 10 users, so these are 10 users. So there is one more thing, that you can also use group function inside of another group. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, but before that I'll show you. Suppose this user, here is the first name and last name. So what if I want to group this also? Okay, so this is the main group, and inside there will be a subgroup. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code, and again I'll copy this and I'll paste it, and here I will give as name. The label should be name, and I need to end this group. So copy this and I'll paste it here, and let's format it. So now this is one more group inside this main group. So let's save this, and now let's go to the browser. Okay, so that was auto formatted actually. As you can see, it is auto formatted, but okay, now let's see. This is the main group of user, and inside we have one more group with the name. Okay, so this is the first name and last name, and this is the main group. Main group have two items, that is ID and avatar, but there is a subgroup which has the first name and last name, and if you click it will collapse. Okay, so what if initially you want that all the users should be collapse? Okay, so for that we need to use group collapse. Okay, so let me copy this, and here instead of group I'll give group collapse. Okay, so that's it. Let's save this, and if I go to the browser, and if I clear this out and refresh, so now you can see all the user group has been collapsed. So if I click, it will get expand. Okay, so this is very cool stuff. Okay, so initially it is collapsed. So the group functions are very beneficial for logging specific object to your console. The best way to use the group function is that you should create a function to log your object. For example, let's go to Visual Studio Code and let's say we will create a function. Okay, so here we will create a function. So function, and we will name it as log user. Okay, so log user, and inside we will take a parameter as user. Okay, and here we will cut the entire console logs, and here we will paste it out. Okay, and then we will call log user function here. So I will write log user, and inside we will take users, and in square bracket we will pass the I. Okay, so let's save this, and now let's go to the browser, clear this out, refresh. So now, okay, we are getting some error, user is not defined. Okay, so here I'll copy this, and here instead of user square bracket I'll paste the user. Okay, so here we need to change everything. Let's paste it here, let's paste it here. Okay, let's save this, and now this is fine, users square bracket I. Let's go to the browser, refresh it. So here we are getting all the users collapsible. Okay, the entire user group is collapsible. So if I click on it, it will expand. Okay, so this is the best way of using group functions. Okay, we need to take a function and then we can pass the console log here. Okay, so this is how we can use group functions to show the object. Okay, so I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please like, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, in this video we will look at console.info function, but we will see this in both Chrome and Safari browser, because in Chrome console.info is not behaving the way I want it. So I want to show the correct behavior of console.info in Safari console. Okay, so console.info function shows an icon. Okay, it shows an I icon, means information icon next to the message, and then shows the message. Okay, so you can understand the message is an informational message. So let's write the message. So here I'll write console.info. Okay, and inside I will write the message. This is console.info, and even I'll write uh, console log. Okay, so console log, again this is a standard message. So only difference will be in console.info there will be an I icon. Okay, and in console log there will be no I icon. Okay, so let me write console log so you can see the difference. So if I save this and if I go to the Chrome browser, refresh it, and if I inspect and if I go to console, so here as you can see there is no difference because it is a Chrome browser. But if I go to Safari, okay, and this is the URL. Okay, and let's refresh it. Let me refresh this. So as you can see, this is a console.info, and this is console.log. So beside console.info there is an I icon. Okay, and this is a standard message of console log. So the only difference is that it has an I icon. It means that whenever you want to show some informational message in the console, so you need to write console.info. Okay, so this is the only difference between console log and console info function. So this is it for this video. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will see the most famous console log function. So let's start. This is the most commonly used JavaScript function all over the world. It has very simple purpose. It displays a message to the console. So let's console something here. Okay, so console log, and we will console this is console.log. Okay, let's save this, and now let's go to the browser, right click, inspect, and if I go to console, here you can say it displays a message, this is console log. So there are few more things which we can do. We can declare a variable and assign the value to it. Okay, so let's check it out how we can do it. So let's remove this console log. Okay, I'll cut this out and I'll define a variable. So percentage s, here s means string. Okay, so we are defining a string, so we need a string, so I'll paste this out. Okay, so now this value is been stored in this. Okay, so let's save this, and now if I go to the browser, refresh, let me refresh it again. So now as you can see, we are getting the same message console log, but this time this value has been saved in this variable. Okay, so if I change this to console.warn, and if I go to the browser, now this message has changed to this is console.warn. Okay, now what we can do more. Okay, so now we can also we can also define number. Okay, so here we need to type percentage d stands for decimal, and here instead of the string we will add only number 14. And if I save this, if I go to the browser, clear this out, refresh, this is 14. Okay, so now we can print number as well. So now what if we want string and number both? So here we need to use percentage s, percentage d, this is for string and this is for number, and here we need to define the string. So console log, whatever string you want you can define. Okay, and here I'll add a comma. So if I save this, now this it should be in this sequence. Okay, if this is a string, here we need a string. If this is a decimal, here we need a decimal. Suppose you want a decimal here, so you need to change this to d, and here you need to add the decimal. So this should be accordingly in that line. Okay, so if it is a string, string will come first. If this is a decimal, decimal will come second. If you want to interchange decimal here, so here it should be the decimal and here it should be string. So I hope I'm not confusing and making it clear. Okay, so now if I save this and if I go to the browser, clear this out, refresh, so now you can see this is console log 14. Okay, so string and number, and we can do more. Okay, so we can style this text. So let me style this text. So I'll remove this number, we don't require it right now. And to style the, let's remove entire thing. Okay, so only we need console logs, this is console log. If we want to style the entire line, okay, so here we need to add percentage c. Okay, c stands for styling the text, and here after comma we need to write single quotes, and we need to whatever style we want to give, let's say font size, we need to give it 60 pixels. Okay, let's save this, and if let's go to the browser, refresh it. Okay, so here you can see now this font size is 60 pixels. What if I want to color this text? So let's remove this color, and color should be red. Save this, let's go to the browser, refresh it. Now this is in red color. What if I want only this is in red color and console log in blue color? So for that we need to add percentage c here, and then we need to add a comma. Okay, and then again single quotes, color should be blue. So if I save this and if I go to the browser, refresh it, so this is console log, so this is red and this is blue. Okay, so uh, uh, it should be in a line wise. Okay, so this is will take this red color and console log will take this blue color. So in this way you can style your console log function and console log message, and again you can just uh, increase the font size, you can color it, or you can save it in a variable. Okay, so I think mostly only people use console log as it is, but you can just play around with it and you can see the magic. Okay, So I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, please like, share and comment, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will learn console table function. So let's start. Basically, console table function displays array of object as a table on our console. So it is mandatory that you should pass the parameter as an array. This should be a normal array or objects array. It doesn't matter. You should pass a data as an array. So if you remember our console.group function lesson, we were handling the object array. We were handling the element of the array one by one and then logging to console. Now we will handle the same array with this function called console table. Okay. So let's write the same ajax call. So here I'll write $ajax, and inside the parentheses we will have an object with URL property, and that is going to be https colon slash slash reqres dot in slash api slash users slash question mark per underscore page, that is going to be 10. Then we have type, that is going to be get. Then we have success, that is going to be function response, and here we need to uh, save this in a variable. So var users, that is going to be response dot data. Okay, so this data we are going to save in this users variable. Okay, then we can console log users. Let's save this, and now if I go to the browser, let me refresh, right click, inspect. If I console, dot ajax is not defined, so it is dot ajax. Okay, so if I go back, refresh, so here as you can see we are getting the data, but again this is ID, email, first name, last name, avatar. So here as you can see we have to click on this arrow to see the data. Okay, one by one if I click, you can see the data. But now what we'll do is we will use console.table. Okay, so that we can see this information in a tabular form. Okay, so console.table, let me save this, and if I go to the browser and if I refresh it, so as you can see now this is the index, this is the ID, email, first name, last name, avatar, and even you can make it this column smaller. Okay, so you can just drag this to make it small, big. Okay, and even if you click, so this is like you can sort accordingly. Okay, if you want to see from the index 9, so you can just click here, so it will change. Okay, so simple, you can just click here. So now we can see ID which is 10, the information of that ID is here. If I click here again, the information of the ID 1 will be here. Okay, so you can just sort by you clicking this arrow. Okay, so this is how it works. A console table, it will give you the information in a tabular form. So you can just compare, this is a tabular form and this is the normal data which we see. So this is kind of too messy, but if you can see this one is more clear and precise. Okay, so I highly recommend you, whenever you want to console the object, use console.table. Okay, so this is this will help you to see the information in tabular form. Okay, so I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, please like, share and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. And this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video we will learn console.time and console.time and function. So let's start. So we have two functions. Console.time function is starting a timer. Label is optional. If you want, you can keep it. And console.time and function is used to stop the timer started from this function. Okay, and it displays the elapsed time to console. So the main purpose of these functions are to track your time, how long your operations takes. So generally backend developers are using this kind of time to track their operations, because you always want to improve your function elapsed times. Okay, so let's write a for loop and track the time elapsed between for loop completion. Okay, so here I will use a for loop. So for var I equals to 0 and I is less than, maybe I can take a big figure. Okay, so I'm taking a big figure because I need this operation should take some time to complete. So, and here I'll write var b equals to I multiply by 5. Just randomly I am giving this function, okay, this multiplication. So let's save this, and now let's define a timer. So let me copy this, I'll paste it here, and label I will give it. So the label name will be for loop label. Okay, and let me end this timer by using time end. Okay, and remember the label should be same. Okay, and let's go to the browser and inspect console. So it took around 1 second. Okay, so right now it is in millisecond, but I think 1995 is almost 2 seconds. So let me increase it 10 more. So now let's see how much time it takes. So here it is showing waiting for the page to reload. Obviously the figure is more, so yeah, so it is almost 16 seconds. Okay, so it took around 16 seconds to complete this function. Now what we can do is, so you, as you can see here is a label, for loop label, and if I don't use this label, then what will happen? So let me remove this label from here, save this, and let me remove 10. Okay, so it is taking too much of time. Let me refresh it. Now let's see how much time it will take. Okay, so now as you can see, if I remove the label, it is showing me default. Okay, so I think you should keep the label, so it will help you to understand for what you are checking. Okay, so label is important. So now what I'll do is I'll uncomment this ajax function. Okay, and here I will use that timer. Okay, so here I'll needing this, and here I'll end the timer. So let me remove this. Okay, so I'll put a label as well. So here I'll give the label as Ajax call for fetching data. Okay, let me copy this, and here I'll paste it. Okay, let me save this. Let's go to the browser, refresh. Okay, it is okay. I've used the table, so I'll write console.log. Okay, so let me remove this again, refresh. So how much time it took? It took around 39.40 milliseconds. So this is how you can check the time, how at how much time it took to run the function. Okay, so this is very helpful. So you can make your code much faster by using this console.time function. Okay, if your function is taking too much time, so you can just refactor it. Okay, and I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, share, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello friends, in this video we will learn console.trace function. So let's start. Console.trace function is very useful debugging function. It basically displays a stack trace from the point where the method was called. So for complex JavaScript application, sometimes it is very difficult to diagnose a problem because due to the high complexity, you cannot easily find the correct place to fix. So console.trace has a vital role to overcome those kind of issues. To understand it more clearly, we will create three functions and call them inside each other. Okay, so here I'll create the first function. So function first func, and inside this we will call the second function. Okay, then we will create the second function, and here I will call third function, and we will create the third function, and inside we will console trace. Okay, we will add this console.trace. Okay, and then we will call the first function, which is first func, and let's save this. So when I call this first function, it will automatically call the second function, and then after that this second function will call this third function, and at the end this function will be called. Okay, so this is the process that will happen. So let's check it in the browser. Right click, inspect, console. Let me refresh it. Okay, so you can see the stack trace, everything is starting with the window.onload function because it is our wrapper function. First this function will call, and then after that the first function is called, and then the second function is called, and at the end of this function call, the third function, the trace function, is called. Okay, so you can see that the steps are shown very clearly. Okay, so in complex application this stack can be very long. It will be very useful to diagnose your problem. Okay, so you can use a label also. So here I'll use a label. So let me write test stack trace. Let me save this, and if I go here, if I refresh, okay, sorry, not here. Here we need to write the label. So here, as you can see, test stack trace. Okay, so I would highly suggest that you always add a label, so it is more meaningful. Okay, so this was about console.trace function, and now we will see console.warn function. So let me remove the entire thing, and here, so this is console.warn function. So as the name suggests, console.warn, so it will show a warning icon beside the message. So let me write console.warn, and here I will write this is a warning message. Let me save this, and let's go to the browser. Let me clear this out, refresh. So as you can see, there is an icon, warning icon, and here is the message. This is the warning message. So this is it. I hope you like the videos, and this was the end of the course. I hope you enjoyed the series of consoling the objects. Okay, so I hope you have learned something new from this. So this is it for this video. This is it for this course, and I'll see you in some other video and some other course. Till then, take care and bye bye.